guys, welcome back to this week's video. Today I'm going to be doing another book review for you, and the book that I'm going to be reviewing is More Happy Than Not by Adam Silvera. I have seen a ton about this book all over YouTube and Goodreads and all over the internet, and so I thought it was about time that I gave it a read. This book was a very interesting read for me. It was not a happy book by any means, and there was a lot of parts in the book that just really kind of tore you apart and broke your heart at times. We follow the main character, Aaron Soto, who is a 16-year-old boy who is growing up in the projects of the Bronx. And we find that his life has been one filled with tragedy and just really hard times. The beginning of the book, we find out that his father has just committed suicide a few months prior to the start of the book, and Aaron himself has actually had a bout with attempted suicide. With the help of his girlfriend Genevieve and his mother and a few friends, he is able to cope with life as it is. We find that Genevieve, his girlfriend, ends up leaving Aaron for a few weeks in the summer to go to an art camp because she is like an aspiring artist, and so she decides that she's going to go spend some time. I want to say it was in Louisiana. She goes there for this part of the summer, and that leaves Aaron all by himself. Aaron runs into this new character in the book whose name is Thomas, and they become really fast and quick friends and begin to spend a lot of time together. These two characters find themselves doing everything together, from going to comic book stores and reading comic books to going to see movies and to playing like handball with a lot of the boys that are in the neighborhood, and they just start to develop a really close friendship. It is at this time in the book when Aaron starts to have a lot of internal struggles because he feels that he is actually starting to develop feelings for Thomas, and this is super confusing to him because he doesn't quite understand why he's having feelings at all for the first place for a boy when he has a really steady girlfriend. There is some part of him that believes that Thomas has feelings for him too, because Thomas is always there for him no matter what. It doesn't matter the situation or the circumstances, and he just feels really safe and connected with Thomas, and it's kind of this friendship that's blossoming, but at the same time it's kind of imploding because of all of the different things on the outside that are affecting it. There was one aspect of the book that was incredibly interesting, and that was this scientific procedure that the author talks about in this book that has been brought up in this character's life. Basically, it's a memory-altering procedure that is done that can selectively take memories away from you that you no longer want, and basically it just completely takes all of the bad things out of your memory. There were some characters in the book that took away memories, such as like there was a father who was in a car accident and that killed his wife and his child, so he goes into the Leo Institute, which is like the name of the place where they do the procedure, and he has a procedure done so that his wife and his child are completely wiped from his memory. He no longer remembers them at all. This is a really controversial part of the book because it delves into, you know, what do we have the right to change in our brains? Like, does somebody actually have the right to go in and like take away these memories? And is it right for you to be able to go in and take away memories? So because of all of the confusing things that are going on in Aaron's life, you know, between the suicide of his father, his mother who is working like all of these jobs just to keep Aaron and his brother and her in this tiny little ghetto apartment, you know, his feelings that he's having for Thomas, the confusing feelings that he's also having for Genevieve, all of this is just compounding in upon itself, and Aaron finds himself actually wanting to go in to get the procedure of memory alteration. The way that this book was written was really interesting. I really loved the way the storyline was driven. There was a lot of character-driven moments. There wasn't like a whole lot of, you know, just explaining like plot and stuff. It was really just you were in the minds of this character and you were kind of seeing the plot run through his eyes, and that's how the story developed. There was a huge twist in the book that really took me by surprise, and I was like, whoa, I had to like kind of take a step back and set the book down for a minute because it was, I mean, it was a really big twist. I didn't see it coming, and the way that I thought I saw the book playing out definitely didn't happen, and I thought that that was a really cool part of the book. I thought Adam Silvera did a great job with keeping the reader on their toes, and you know, he makes you think that one thing is going to happen, but it doesn't, and it just completely does like a 180 and something else happens, and that was a really interesting part of the book. There was a lot of heartbreak and just disaster in this story, and it's definitely one that you kind of have to go into the book expecting that, because if you don't, then it's going to be a really difficult novel to read. I would definitely say that I recommend this book. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. I really did enjoy this book. I read it rather quickly. It's a pretty easy read, and it's just one of those books that kind of just sticks with you after you read it, and it definitely kept me thinking about it after I finished it. It made me want to read more by this author, and I'm very much looking forward to being able to do that in the future. Alright you guys, that is it. Please let me know if you end up picking up this book and reading it. Be sure to like this video, subscribe. I put new videos out all of the time, and thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to pick up a book, immerse yourself, and I'll see you next time. Bye!